are getting ready to go have Lincoln's tongue tie and lip tie looked at. If you can tell right now, I am pushing up his upper lip and it does not go very far at all, which means that he cannot latch with the upper part of his lip, and his tongue doesn't even come out of his mouth, which means he can't wrap around a nipple when it's in its mouth, whether it's even at a bottle or around a nipple. So at the end of this video, I'm going to put some symptoms that we go through, because this is my third baby that's had these types of issues, to help other moms, because no mom should have to go through these types of struggles alone.
Yeah, so he's got a posterior tongue tie.
Okay.
Light here too.
I was like, I'm like, I want to see it.
Yeah, for sure. So the lip, and you can see it. Obviously, if he closes his mouth a little bit, and we pull that up, see it just blanching right there, and it attaches right where that gum ridge is. So we call that a class 4. Class 4 is about as severe as they get, right? And his is not quite as thick as I've seen. Let me see some that are thicker. I know, I'm sorry, I'm going to reach in underneath your tongue,
Tongues
Lincoln.
are so hard to see.
I know, it's so hard to stretch, right? Here, okay, big guy. So as we lift it up there, you can kind of see it pop right there, right?
Okay.
So this little guitar string, pretty much. And so, I know, I'm sorry.
Dr. Kimball was just amazing with him. He did such a wonderful job. So I just like to talk about some of the symptoms that you'd see. So number one, he doesn't get a deep latch, and he also has issues sucking because your tongue needs to be able to wrap around the nipple, and it doesn't. And also your top lip should be able to flange up to be able to express milk, and it doesn't. With my first son, my supply dropped, his weight dropped, so we had tons of issues. I had no idea what a lip tie was, but I was able to exclusively pump for a month, and then I found out that he had a lip tie and was able to nurse right after that. My second son, I found out he had a lip tie from the get-go and got it taken care of, and so we never really had issues nursing. So a big reason that these cause issues is, number one, if you're nursing, that they're not able to express the milk. So a lot of women who say, I didn't have a supply, or my supply dropped, whether it's later on, like around month 3, or from the beginning. It's actually usually very, very common that it's from a tie, because the baby cannot express enough milk. So what I do is I just start pumping until I can get the lip ties taken care of, so that I keep my supply up. Another thing we find is clicking when they take a binky or a bottle, and usually they show other symptoms like colic and reflux, because they get so much air because their tongue and their mouth is not closing correctly on a bottle or a nipple. Other issues you'll see later on is they can have speech issues because their tongue doesn't move the right way. There's so many issues. You can look it up, and many symptoms that I've seen that I go through personally. It's kind of traumatizing for my first son. So a big reason I share all of this is because I do not want any other moms to feel like they're alone. This is something that I'm super passionate about, because I've had all 3 of my babies. Most of the time when someone says they can't nurse, or their baby has some speech issues, I can look in their mouth, and most of the time I found a lip or a tongue tie. Not that I can professionally diagnose, but I've seen enough of them. And pediatricians are not common people to find these. The doctor we are at is actually a pediatric dentist. Lactation consultants are amazing resources as well. And a big thing I would say is just open your kid's mouth yourself. I have had 7 pediatricians throughout my 3 kids tell me my kids do not have lip and tongue ties that are severe, or they don't need to be taken care of. As you can see in this video, he can't even flange his upper lip. He can't pull out his tongue. They are severe and they needed to be taken care of. And it's not that pediatricians, they just don't understand that they can cause so many issues with kids. I will continue to do more videos, because in the future we actually do have a lot more go on with Lincoln, and a lot more issues. But I'm just so grateful that I know about them. And so if you know anyone that is struggling to nurse, mention lip and tongue ties, and maybe not even mention them, maybe just forcefully get in a child's mouth, because most of the time when I mention it, everyone says, oh, my doctor said he was okay. My pediatrician says they're fine. But go with your mama gut. That's what I've done since the beginning with all of my kids. I've felt that there was something wrong, and I take the initiative to find the answers, because I don't believe that sometimes doctors know everything, because I'm the one that's with my baby all the time. So take a look in your kid's mouth. You figure out what you need to do. If you have any questions, please, please, please ask me. You can ask me through this, or you can send me a message through my Instagram, which is at Tess O'Driscoll. I'll put it in the comments or in the link below. And please, I love to hear from people. You can also message me at Miss Tess O'Driscoll at gmail.com. I love to hear from people that have had experiences or struggle or want to have more information. Anyways, thank you so much. And really, I would be glad to help anybody if they have any questions.